Hey everybody, welcome to the June 30th episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm Daddy. It's June 30th, so I'm in my beach gear here. Why do you say after June 30th comes July 1st? That's Canada Day. That's the first big summer holiday in Canada. And yeah, so I'm going to be celebrating it. Hopefully, you guys get to celebrate it too. Head off to the beach. Before we jump into any of that stuff, let's talk about that beach stuff. I'm going to be headed out to Winnipeg Beach. Going to see on Saturday morning. Going to be heading out to the Primo's Wrestling. There's a free show at Winnipeg Beach that they're putting on there at noon on the Winnipeg Beach Boardwalk. They have a beach festival going on all day there at Winnipeg Beach. So if anyone is in the Winnipeg Beach area, it's about an hour or so away from Winnipeg, a little less. And yeah, come check it out. I'll be there. Maybe have a few things to give away in that. Yeah, and if you can't be there, check it out on TikTok. And of course, I will be streaming it on Facebook Live. Um, like I have been in the past too. Last weekend, I went to support my new sponsor there that I've been sponsoring, that young protege, Mustachio. He's kind of been hooked up and kind of been taken under the wing by the Toxic Juggernauts there. So we started talking with the Toxic Juggernauts there, and I've always liked their work there. And this is the toxic summer, the summer of toxicity. So yeah, Nat Daddy's decided to join the summer of toxicity. Going to be helping out with those guys as hopefully as much as possible. I always film them at the shows already, and that they're a couple of my favorite guys, especially with them working with Mustachio. Anyone who's watches the Nat Daddy channel or the Primos channels, and that they are familiar with all that stuff. But the reason I'm talking about this a little bit as well too is because starting on Canada Day, starting tomorrow, if you want, through the Nat Daddy page here or on our website, you can get some of the Toxic Juggernaut stuff here. We have merch from Moses Luke here. So we have on the bottom here, we have tank tops. Those are ladies' tank tops there. If you want prices or information, just hit us up either set on the website or reach out through the Nat Daddy page here. And at the top there, we got Moses Luke's t-shirts, 20th 25th anniversary, and just regular Moses Luke t-shirts as well. On the bottom there, this is the part that I thought was kind of cool, and I thought would tie in nicely with Nat Daddy, is that there's a comic book here that he has that Moses Luke himself is in, and also stickers as well there too. Like I said, hit us up for those if you'd like anything like that. They're great t-shirts, and that helps support one of the Toxic Juggernauts. And as you can see there, we got the picture there of the group all posing together with our pinkies up. So yeah, check it out. Primo's Wrestling this weekend, Canada Day. And if you're not available for that, come back on July 21st for Streets of Rage 2 back in the city. Our first event in Winnipeg. We didn't do one in June because we have so many activities outside the city. So yeah, so that's our wrestling sponsors. Can't forget about our other sponsors. We got 204 Comics, local comic book store in Winnipeg. It's where we get all our physical books and that. Supplies in that too, actually. Omnibuses and everything comic related that Nat Daddy itself doesn't deal with. Love those guys. They treat us well, and that's where we go and film all our preview videos there as well. So definitely check them out. All right. What else is there? Oh, I should have mentioned too that when you're also looking at maybe some of that Toxic Juggernauts merchandise there, you can look at the Mad Daddy stuff, which is set up on that website as well. So we got our exclusives there, the Swamp Dogs, awesome book there if everyone's like a zombie kind of Scooby-Doo gang type of mystery, thriller, adventure, horror. Calculated Man, that's a fun book. The Chicken Devils 1 and 2 there. And of course, the horror sci-fi anthology Spectral. All awesome books there. Last but not least, we have the Tag Show, which is on summer reprieve right now. But we still got Dicey's going on. Dicey is the D&D channel, Monday evenings, summertime, so why not be working through a winter wonderland here, as they say. And it's not very wonderland. It's a kind of a winter hell apocalypse. It's like Winnipeg in winter. So definitely check that out on Mondays. Lots of fun if you're a D&D fan. All right, let's get into some books now. Only have a few books to review this week that I read digitally. We can jump right into this. We got Thor number 35. This is the final part of the arc where it's Doctor Doom versus Thor for all the Marvels type of thing. But I really like this book for not that per se, but I like it because of this cover. That's an amazing cover, and also this is the origin of Helga or Hela, Helena. So if anyone is a fan of Hela, and this is kind of the key. This is the finally like the true origin of her, the Queen of the Dead, Queen of Death. From DC, we have City Boy number 2. I've been enjoying this series with this new character so far. We have a young man here that's kind of a homeless guy. He's an orphan. He's from another dimension, and he has this power where he kind of is like in tune with the city and like the city spirit and that, so he can kind of control the city type of thing. So up till now he's been doing things like it helps him find things, and it helps him out when he just needs like kind of little small magic kind of stuff. But it also turns out here too that the city itself is like a living in spirit, and almost seems to be like a living dragon type of spirit type of thing, and he's able to control it to a certain point too. So very neat new character. I kind of like this book a lot. So issue number 2, jump on it if you still can. Same with this series from Image Comics. We got World Tree number 3. Probably Tinian's most creepy and most just kind of weird or mature stuff so far, which is saying a lot with a lot of the Tinian stuff here. We have a new book in here as well too from him we'll be reviewing later on. But this is that series where you have a group of people that a few years past were working with the internet and that, and discovered like this demonic entity that was living in the undernet type of thing, and they were able to kind of trap it there. Now all this time has passed and it's been freed, and now it's going around killing people very gruesome serial killer style. Very, very creepy. This computer virus AI type thing is walks around just naked the whole time doing all of this with these great tattoos and that all over. So not for the faint of heart or for kids, but a great Tinian book. Last I read digitally this week was sorry, I was gonna sneeze there. Hellboy number 3. Sorry, my allergies are crazy here in Canada, because I'm sure you're well aware we have lots of wildfires going on. So hope that doesn't impact the beach show too much. We got Hellboy in the BRPD number 57. Pardon me. Issue 1 shot here. It's Hellboy, and he's sent to investigate these kind of weird animal attacks that are happening around this area, and he ends up running into an old colleague, old female friend, and they end up teaming up to investigate these animal attacks. But it ends up being some kind of spirit were-tiger type of thing. So neat little story there, especially if you are a Hellboy fan, or if you're not really a Hellboy fan and just want to try something different and not want to be too bogged down with a bunch of backstory and that. This would be a great one for you as well. All right. Well, let's jump into some raw books here. First one off the week is from CEX Comics, and it's called Mise en Place. This is a neat story here, kind of dark in some points, but it's humanity has consumed every single animal on Earth, and now humans have turned to the stars to satisfy their hunger. So again, humans have eaten all the animals on Earth. There's no meat left. So now they've gone to space exploring just to capture other animals, or other creatures, I should say, to eat in that. So this is a story of this one woman who is like a processor for them in that, and they end up coming across with she's actually disguised as one of these bat creatures in that. So kind of has this very kind of cartoonish, comic-y kind of type of art in there, very cartoony in that. It has this adult story again about this kind of like a Soylent Green almost when you think about it, feel to it, about these human corporations and that have just will chop up and kill anything to eat it and not care about feelings and that. Almost how like people feel about fish and that on Earth, so or chicken too. From Scout Comics, we have Side Quest #1, and this is a story about a guy who's in part of like a fantasy team. Almost makes you think of like a D&D type of team in that. He's out there having some adventures in that, and he's always getting his butt kicked. And they always have like different party members rescuing him and bringing him back from the dead, and or bringing him back from being injured and that, just like you would see in a D&D game. So very very appropriate for what we do on Monday nights there. So this guy's doing all this, and like I said, he's going through a bunch of different little adventures with them, having fun, almost like if you've seen the D&D movie or the Guardians Galaxy stuff, that kind of stuff, traveling adventures with this band and that. And then you see at the end of the story this neat little twist where he goes through like a portal, and once he goes through this portal at the end of the story, it ends up he's back on Earth, and he's actually just been in the bathroom, kind of reading and playing a game a little bit, and walks out to his family. So we don't really know if this is real or if this is him just kind of escaping, mentally a little while to take a break from his family, playing a game. But kind of neat. I liked it. That's kind of cool. Next, from Scout Comics, we have this interesting book here called The Quarry, and it's it's kind of a ghost story, and you can see that kid floating there, about this one kid that kind of drowned in the local quarry where he was, I guess, swimming with some friends in that. But there's just a few stories in here that are just kind of 1 or 2 page one-shot stories, all about it in that. But it really has this really neat kind of soft artwork in there. Almost like it's put through like a soft filter and that, but everything is blues and soft and beach color like. So again, kind of this neat little. Again, some of these stories don't really make sense in that because they're only 1 or 2 pages, and I'm sure they're going to keep building on the series because it's just the beginning of it. But it is kind of a neat book here, especially for the artwork and that. And again, it's about this. About these ghost stories, about this, this area where this quarry seems to have taken a life or two. Kind of neat. It's getting a little bit of buzz, this book, and I'm not sure if it's because of the story part or if it's because of the artwork, or maybe it was kind of under ordered, but neat book to check out. The Quarry. All right, so again, this is that Newtonian book I was talking about, which I forgot it was actually going to be a written by Tinian in that. It's from Dark Horse, and it's called The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. So it's about this young adult, and he's seen some better days for sure. His whole life has kind of been off since the beginning, and he's kind of sitting there, describing to a pigeon everything that's been going on in his life as of late. And like I said, he's been born from the beginning as or I said not born from the beginning, but at the beginning they show he's born and kind of orphaned right from the beginning. And right from the beginning, he's been kind of different, and that kind of has extraordinary powers. He kind of sees things in a world that's a little different. When he looks at things, and that he sees things like in a very mathematical way, or just kind of breaks down everything, and that he's very very quirky and inventive in that. And at the same time, too, he seems to be doesn't really have like a gender that he identifies with either in that. So we find out during some experiments in that here that he wants to actually bring back the pigeon who was killed after, and he puts all his effort into making these machines and that, where he wants to bring back this pigeon to life. And he succeeds, and it flies off in that, and it seems like maybe some kind of person that maybe shouldn't know about this kind of does. So then we can kind of see on the cover too, this kind of guy's in the background there. So we're gonna find out that's probably the villain. He's maybe gonna kind of go after this kid to maybe use that for some nefarious means, which is anything can happen there. Being a Tinian book there, quite enjoy this. A little bit less murder-like so far and gory-like compared to that other Tinian book, World Tree. All right. From Dynamite, we have a new series called Starfinder, Angels of the Drift. So Starfinder is a role-playing game just like D&D, and Pathfinder is another version of it, but the Starfinder stuff is more kind of space cowboy-like. So this book is exactly what you would think it'd be D&D adventure-wise, or Guardians of the Galaxy-wise. With definitely more Guardians of the Galaxy wise, because again it has that group of ragtag adventurers, and again they kind of have this not only space technology, more of a Western theme to it as well too. So really like the art in here. I myself I'm not familiar with the Starfinder stuff game wise. I've never played any of that, so I assume some of these characters do tie into it in that. But I enjoyed the story so far. So again, very much, very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. Quite fun. And also at the end of the book too, again, because it is a part that is from the actual game, and that they do have no actual game stats for these characters. So neat book there if you want to be introduced to the Starfinder. Because last week or the week before that we did Pathfinder. So it seems like Dynamite's picking up all these role-playing treats. Another one from Scout Comics. This one I quite enjoyed. It's called The Traveler's Guide to Flugoria. This is a very neat book. It's about this older gentleman who, again, he's not homeless. He's this older kind of fisherman type dude, and he for years and years and almost decades even, he's been living off the coast of this small town, and he's been going out looking for this this monster. There it is, the monster too. This monster creature, kind of like a Loch Ness type of monster thing that he says lives in the bay and that. So this one fellow here works at the local newspaper, and he's been tasked to go do the interview and that and the photo thing, which happens every couple of years. So he regretfully doesn't want to do it, but he does go do it because it's his job. And he goes end up out there and talking with this guy, and ends up finding out that everyone thinks this guy's crazy. He's been saying this stuff for years, and ends up going out there and out to the water to see this thing. And they actually do come across this monster this time, and and actually this monster does attack him. So right before this all happens, as he's talking to this old sailor dude, he finds out that he's actually his story, as he says up until that point, is that he's not actually from Earth. He's actually from this other dimension. I think it's probably Flugoria. And what happened is he was out doing, he's an explorer in his other place, and he was out doing some exploring and ended up getting captured by a monster and sent through like this warp, this warp in the water. And he ends up waking up here, and now he's been homeless and kind of left to live on this earth for all these years, and that's why he's been doing all this. And the world he comes from is very, very exotic. Like it's full of monsters and that, and that's where this other monster is that he's been looking for, because he thinks if this monster pops up every once in a while, maybe it knows a way home. So it ends up attacking the boat, and the boat ends up breaking, and this news reporter guy, or this local paper guy, ends up getting sucked into this monster, like kind of Jonah and the whale style, with this robot from the ship or whatever. And now he wakes up now, and he's in this other dimension that this guy originally came from. So now I guess he's gonna have to try to find a way back, and vice versa, and that. So and this again, it's very, very strange here. Lots of crazy creatures, and it's cool. The one thing I really like about this book, besides this neat story, is it's got some really kind of different artwork in here. It's kind of kid book like, but at the same time not. You know, I quite thought it was neat. Um, Almost makes me think of like a Christmas Carol type of thing or a Christmas storybook and that. But again, there are lots of neat little monsters in here. Cool little story. Has a neat twist there. From IDW, and Steve Niles, so the guy that does 30 Days a Night, and that we got Bryn Mawr. So this is a story of a man who his family name has been around for many generations in this town. His family originally helped found this town, but it's over the years and generations, it's taken quite a beating. So his name is kind of frowned upon now. And now his life is kind of crappy, and now he's kind of having like a middle-age crisis, and he's moved back to this town, and he's decided to rebuild the church there with his family church that was there, and turn it into a home. So of course he's getting flack all over the town from returning from the locals. So pretty typical that way there. We find out here that as he's doing some renovation work in the home, which was a church, we have he finds a hideaway or a secret doorway, and he follows that down underground, and it leads to kind of this big forbidden door, this big stone door, and that. So we'll see what goes on there. This is probably going to tie into how his family name has gone bad somehow. I'm not really sure on there yet, but a neat story for a story. This is from American Mythology Projects. We have Blighted Dawn, and this was the Cursed Verse. And this is the way this book is done is they have it as a radio show, old kind of radio serial show, and it has these people doing the radio show about I guess these adventures are in it. So this is kind of a almost like an intro book to a bunch of these characters. So there's the 3 or 4 stories in here with these new characters, which seem kind of neat here. The one I like the most so far is this Bombshell and Tom Tom, which is this red robot here. He's Tom Tom, and that's the character there is Bombshell. It's kind of like an Iron Giant type of idea, except if the Iron Giant was obsessed with this blonde bombshell type idea. That's kind of fun. Yeah, one of the characters being this what's her name? The Witch Hammer. So she's kind of like a monster hunter, kind of a dark detective down here. So kind of a neat universe starting out here. So I would assume these are all first appearances. So if anybody is a collector of keys and first appearances, definitely check this out. And like I said, these stories here all kind of lead into their own books, which are starting later this year. So I like this as well too. It's a neat surprise. All right. Got a few more books here to go. We got a neat one here from Alien Books, again from Fair Square, again a trade paperback, so a little bit thicker. This is from Howard Chaykin. Chaykin. This is a neat book here. You have it's the end. It's 1913, and the gold rush is on. Hollywood is starting up, and you have these 2 guys here, which were former renegades for Roosevelt, and they're showing up in Hollywood, and they want to, I guess, set up as not private eyes type of thing, but set up as heroes. And it shows them working in and out of Hollywood a little bit. You see a lot of historical stuff in here with Roosevelt. You see how the mob was trying to influence their way into Hollywood and that. So this is kind of neat here. Like I said, it's great artwork in here. Very, very realistic in that, as you can see there. And again, it's very adult themed too. So if you kind of like your your hard kind of noir type of things, definitely up your alley here. Neat book. I liked it. Our last book for the week. This is a very indie heavy week. There was just a lot of great indie books there. So if there's anything you felt that wanted to be covered and wasn't, let me know and I'll double back and get it later on next time. This is a neat book here. It's from Strangers Fanzine. Neat, very, very thick cardstock here. And this is called Diabolical, a double feature of comics Bedlam. And this book here was just on the shelf. I had no idea what it is. And it is 2 stories of just complete craziness, to be honest. You got the second one here. It's called Eating the Orange. You kind of again have this kind of underground artwork here. And it's about a fella who wants to get into this place here. And as soon as he gets into this place, he kills these people. And when he gets into these, like a mafia style, looks like it's a gang hit. But when he gets inside there as well too, weird things happen, and it ends up being kind of like monster or alien or something like that going on, where the hitman ends up like kind of eating this other monster that's in there. Now, so very, very, very strange. Again, this is definitely more for people who are into just kind of underground and dark and artwork and that. So kind of very, very different. Wasn't expecting that. First story, it was a little bit, I wouldn't say more enjoyable than that, but it was just a little bit less weird. You have this city that's being attacked by like these kaijus, and I have these monsters that are attacking like zombies and stuff. And you have this one fella there kind of recanting on how this has been going on for so long, and how he has like a personal history to it because one of the kaijus has given this big scar, and now it's just a big outside kind of zombie war being run by this evil demon type. So again, neat for the artwork and that, but definitely not for your average reader probably. But if you feel like you want to check something different out, check it out. Diabolical, a double feature of comics Bedlam. All right, everybody. Like I said, I'm all decked out now, so I'm going to finish up a couple more errands, and I'm off to the beach for the weekend. Hope to see you there. Yeah, dude, like I said, if you get a chance in the next few days and that, do check out the Nat Daddy page there. We've got all our Nat Daddy stuff. Yeah, if you're in the local and you don't want to worry about paying for shipping and that, you can again just reach out in that as well too. Because like I said, we definitely have so much neat stuff coming up. We love working with all the wrestlers in that there too. So again, check them out this weekend if you can on Canada Day or on the 21st in that. And like I said, dude, check out some of the Toxic Juggernaut stuff there. We got Moses Luke here, the German Juggernaut. Awesome. Love these guys. Nat Daddy's definitely going to enjoy the summer of toxicity. And yeah, hopefully we'll see some more from those guys too. Mustachio and Tyler James both are awesome guys to work with. So especially Mustachio, that guy just seems to take a beating and get up and wants to learn more and more and more. So good luck to those guys this weekend. Hope to see you guys as well. Peace out.